By the way, I had a great weekend down, and before I get to this, I got an hour to fill, so don't worry about it. I had a great weekend. I've just been in a real slump as far as writing new bits, just because my life has ground to a halt here. It's like, I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. Like, my wife went to the Beyonce concert last night at the Rose Bowl, and I was actually thinking I should have gone, because there's no fucking way I wouldn't have got a bit out of that. I would have felt old. I would have felt stupid. I wouldn't know what the songs were. And she come out fucking whipping her weave around and shit. There'd be something I could talk about, right? But instead, I went down to the Comedy Store and I did a couple of shows. And I actually went out. This is for other comedians that are out there. And I was just so fucking sick of doing the same shit and trying to make it work. Every once in a while, if you just go out there and you're just not thinking anything and you just start fucking talking, it works way better and it breathes new life into all your jokes. I just kind of went out there, and which is a very terrifying thing to do if you've never done that in stand-up, because you really feel like you're, do you remember in like The Matrix, when Keanu Reeves, they're trying to convince him to fucking step off that building and he's not going to fall to his death? All he has to do is believe. Was it that movie, or was it fucking Battlestar Galactica, Moonraker? I don't know one of those space movies, right? It wasn't even space, but sci-fi. He had to like believe it. And if you believe it, then you're fine. If you don't believe it, you actually fall to your death. This is sort of one of those things, but of course you're not going to die. You're just going to, metaphorically die on stage. Is basic stepping off the building is basically just leaving your act behind and just talking. So I just went out there and I just started riffing on the fact that I made a smart move by not going to Beyonce, because, when I went to Lady Gaga with my wife, she was mad at me for like 3 fucking days after that one, in defense of me, which there really, really is no defense. I watched the Patriots. We lost, I think, to the Ravens in the playoffs during the day. So I was already drinking. I already had a good 6-pack in me. And then we took a car service to fucking Lady Gaga, and we went on the thing. And it was, I'm all about seeing the band. I want to see the drummer and all that type of shit. And she, on this tour, for whatever reason, it's her tour, it's her choice, whatever. She had him in like this house. There was a fucking house, and I couldn't see the drummer. There was like a window. I could kind of see his hands a little bit of his head, and that was it. And it was just like, what the fuck? I want to see the band. And I can't, it was so long ago, I don't remember what the fuck. But I just started telling that story and how I fucking pissed her off. And then if I went to the Beyonce thing, how I would just, when they sang like that Independent Woman song and everything, just the dirty looks I'd be giving most of the women there, knowing that they were full of shit and that they shouldn't be putting their hands up in the air, It was just a smart move that I didn't go. And my wife still has never gotten over my behavior at the Lady Gaga concert, to the point that I actually asked her to come on the podcast to talk about the Beyonce concert, and she just goes, no. And I tried not to laugh. I tried to hold it together. I go, what do you mean no? She goes, what do you think, I'm a fucking idiot? No. She goes, I'm not going on the podcast and giving you an opportunity to start trashing Beyonce. I go, I'm not going to trash Beyonce. Okay? I have to admit, she started showing me video clips of the concert, and she had it like the way she was we were on the couch, so she snuggled up next to me, so she's holding it kind of low to my, near my stomach, and like 3 times I started laughing looking at the clips. And look, dude, I know she's way more talented than I could ever be. I don't even remotely put on a show like her, but there's just something funny to me about when everybody dances in unison and they have that, that angry look on their face. It's just the funniest. It's just like, what is the problem? They're coming up and they got their arms out, and they're doing that little fucking thing with their head and their feet are running. It's just, I can't even dance. Like, the fucking nerve of me to laugh at it, but it always strikes me. It's absolutely ridiculous. I understand why it's awesome and people appreciate it, but it's also really fucking funny. To me, I should say. I don't know why. Maybe, you know what? I'm just a cunt. Don't listen to me. So whatever. So I made a great fucking move by not going to that concert. Fucking video where the fucking little Aussie bullies punching the fat-headed fucking kid who outweighs him by 80 pounds. And finally the kid getting bullied just can't take it anymore, and he just picks this kid up, and I can't even, lifts him up basically a little above his head. And if he just dropped him there, that would have been amazing, but he it was like he was wringing out a mat is how he threw this kid down to the fucking ground, like shaking out a beach towel, except it was this kid's ragdoll body. The kid's whole body did the fucking worm, except when he came back, from 6 feet in the air, and he slammed this kid on the ground. I couldn't believe this kid's legs still worked. It was fucking awesome. But now they got, it's become this entire, mini-series. They interviewed the kid who got bullied.
I was all alone.
And then they interviewed the kid who did the bullying.
I hit him again, and he must know some kind of fighting sport because he blocked me really quick.
And it's funny, the bully's crying.
Sorry, mate. Is this too much for you?
No. It's just the way my mom says things.
And he's trying to say that the fatty fucking was hitting him first, which is total bullshit, because if you look at the fat kid, which I really shouldn't be saying, but, I'm just trying to, I only have so many minutes here in the podcast. The husky kid. The fucking kid punches him in the face, and he just stands there with his hands down to his side. You can tell, if he was walking around hitting people, his whole body language would have been different. I didn't believe the little mosquito-looking kid. But, and then, so they interview both of them, and I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever laughed so fucking hard in my entire life. Not because I think it's right or I think it's funny. I just there's just something about it. It just took me back to my childhood. Just how fucking mean kids are. They'd be like, "Well, what was it like when you went to school? What was some of the things the kids used to call you?" I know this is a brutal fucking Aussie accent, but he'd be like, "Oh, they call me
They
call me fatty
and all of that, and
and with every mean name, I'm laughing my ass off."
Slap me across the back of their head. Tripping me. Throwing water bombs at me.
It literally gets to the point where the kid said he was suicidal.
And I contemplated suicide.
And I've been through all of that. I've been through all of it. And I actually sat there laughing my ass off watching it. And I'm asking you guys, why am I laughing? I don't find it funny. I feel bad for the kid. But the meaner the detail is, the harder I fucking laugh. I don't know if that's some sort of fallout from trauma, where after a while you just it just becomes funny. There's nothing. What else are you gonna do? All right, read this. Okay, all right, I'm going to read this. Relax. What's up, dickhead? Let's go fucking Bruins. Can't wait for next season. I just moved to wildly mediocre Los Angeles. Well, yeah, that's what you're going to feel like because you just fucking moved there. But if you stay open-minded, which is really difficult for East Coast people to do. I did that the first time I came to L.A. I went to L.A. and I tried to do Boston, New York shit. And then when I couldn't, I was like, oh, this place fucking sucks. It doesn't. It's fucking amazing. Beautiful women, some of the best food you're ever going to have, so much outdoor activity. Just fucking embrace it. Stop trying to be the fucking Boston guy. You're not on a reality show, all right? Take it down a few fucking notches. Nobody gives a fuck in Los Angeles that you don't like it. Everybody just thinks, well, then go back to fucking Boston. Go back to Philly, wherever the fuck you're from. If it's so fucking great, why did you accept a job out here? All right, sorry. I'm just heading you off at the pass before you become another cunt shitting on fucking L.A. He said, I work for the UFC editing fight highlights. Thanks for keeping me entertained with your semi-literate bibble-babble bullshit day after day. This is like a classic East Coast guy. He really likes me and likes what I do, but he just can't get himself to say it because his dad never hugged him, so I'm not taking any of this personally. Anyways, my girlfriend is about to move here to meet me. She had to stay behind when I moved because she's a teacher and needed to finish out the school year. We get along great. I trust her, and she treats me better than I deserve. However, sometimes I can't take how ditzy she can be. Uh-oh. I'm starting to pull some threads here. She is successful and very book smart, but sometimes lacks common sense. I find myself feeling embarrassed when she says some stupid shit in front of my friends or parents. It's kind of a hard thing to discuss with her, though, you know? What the fuck should I do? Also, I'm coming to your show at the Saban Theater this Monday. I'm looking forward to it, so don't blow it. Well, I appreciate you coming out to that. Like I said, it was, you know, for a really good friend of mine and for a great cause. So thank you for doing that. All right. Well, here's the deal, dude. You either have to accept the fact that she can be a little ditzy, or you have to come to the realization that you're dating a fucking dope and you got to get rid of her. It's one or the other. I mean, look, she doesn't sound like she's 100% that. I've dated people like that were a little, you know, they were either locked in or just sort of floating. It was really weird. And they could say really, like, amazing, like, spot-on shit, and then 2 minutes later could say something like, oh, my God, what the fuck was that? But I have to tell you, that's kind of a big deal, though, dude, you know? You can't think that the person you're dating is a dope. You know, you get into that situation and, I don't know, you start thinking about getting married, you start thinking about having kids, you're like, is my kid going to be half a dope or a full-on dope? Is the kid going to get all of that DNA from her? Who the fuck knows? It's kind of hard thing to discuss with her, you know? What are you going to say to her? Can you stop saying dumb shit? I mean, there's no way to do that. You know? I'm trying to think. That's like my wife telling me to work on my temper. I mean, I do work on my temper, but I mean, it's kind of how I'm made up. I mean, if somebody's ditzy, they're fucking ditzy. That would be like my wife telling me, okay, can you be a little less pasty? It's like, I can become red for a few days. That's about the best I can do. I don't know what else you want from me, but, you know, I think you need to maybe move on. I'm not saying you need to move on. Yeah, you either accept this about her or you got to walk. One or the other. Girlfriend is good friends with dude she met on Tinder. Hey, Billy Red Burke. Bork, kind of, I guess it's supposed to be like Ray Bork, Red Bork. So recently, I was talking with my girlfriend about one of her guy friends. The two of them seem pretty close. He did a photo shoot for a T-shirt company she's starting, and she even said, we're like the same person. Yeah, dude, it's over. It's over. She hasn't blown him yet. She's gonna walk away. Something she has said to me as we're talking. She reveals that she met this dude off of the dating and actually just about fucking app Tinder before. Dude, you wrote this so bad. Before we got together. I'm just going to read it how you wrote it. I tried to play it cool, let her talk about him, and just brush it off as whatever. Dude, this is the brainwashing of the American male now, where everything is, if you even question a woman, it's like, wait, was that date rape? So you just ignore all your fucking instincts here. I tried to play it cool. Yeah, her douchebag brother who is totally inconsiderate wants to stay here. You know, I'm all for that. You're not all for that. Your soul is screaming no. You're playing it cool because you're not cool with it. Yeah, why don't you go hang out with some fuck buddy you met on Tinder and see how she fucking likes it, right? Anyways, well, the two of them text quite a lot, and the other night she received something, I think from him, and she laughed. Now, I am ordinarily not a nosy type, but the situation is weird, so I asked, what's funny? She flipped. She said, I'm being too nosy and trying to pry into her personal life. Oh, my God. And then did you give her a sidekick right out of the fucking bed? He goes, I mean, she really flipped her shit about it. She claims I'm being paranoid and that they are just friends. I don't know, Billy. If they fucked, what's to say they won't do? Dude, what do you mean you don't know? He finishes it with, am I being paranoid? Should I not give a shit? Or should I kick this chick to the curb? Dude, punt her to the curb. Right in the seat of her fucking lion pants. Yeah. Yeah. And I would just say, why are you breaking up? I go, because the guy on Tinder completes you. Go get with him. Oh, my God, you're being paranoid. No, I'm not. You guys are fucking. In my heart of hearts, you guys are fucking. And if you're not, you're gonna. And to be honest with you, you probably should be. You're fucking laying in bed with me giggling about his goddamn text. Just go over there and suck his dick already. Now give me my keys. That's it. It's fucking over. All right, that's the podcast for this week. Go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you Thursday. All right, grass killing neighbor. All right, fantasy revenge advice. Hello, Billiam. I'm a 23-year-old male. I live with my parents in the country that even Australia makes fun. Oh wow, that even Australia makes fun of. Two from Australians here. New Zealand. Oh Jesus, I live with my parents in a country that even Australia makes fun of. New Zealand. I thought you meant a part of a country. I can't read people. I love F's is for Family and can't wait for season 2. Thank you so much. Please tell more people in New Zealand about it if you haven't already. If you got the time, I'm not trying to put you out. If you don't want to be that douche, don't be the douche. But if you do, I'd appreciate it. All right. So here we go. Fantasy revenge advice. Some time ago, my father was using a lawn trimmer on the right side of the front yard, which is only a few feet from our neighbor's driveway. While trimming the edges, a small rock in the grass shot out and hit our neighbor's parked car in the driveway. Our neighbor was already at the front of his house and either saw or heard the bang and started yelling at my dad, who was apologetic. The rock put a small dent in the car, which was hard to see even close up. When I was told what happened, by my dad, I was a little pissed that he yelled, but I knew he had a right to be upset, and although it was an accident, my dad would happily pay for the damages because he knew he was at fault. Our neighbor didn't talk to us again about a bill or anything, so we quickly forgot about it and moved on. A few weeks later, I was at the front of our house, and I saw that the right side of our lawn was completely dead, a foot inwards. I realized this fucking cunt had poisoned the area of the grass that would usually be cut using the edge trimmer. Wow. This guy's got major communication issues. So this incident would never happen again, despite my dad telling him that he would only mow the lawn when the driveway was empty in the future. I asked my dad if he knew anything, and he told me he had known for a few days but didn't want to make a big deal about it. My dad is a very easygoing guy who doesn't get bothered much. Myself, on the other hand, spent the next few nights fantasizing about revenge. Oh, it looks like you take after your mother. All right, your dad's easygoing. He married a fucking hot-blooded woman, and she calmed her down, right? And then you got her fucking DNA. All right, I like where this is going so far, even though I'm not a big revenge guy. Your dad's easygoing. It's his house. Already my gut's saying your dad's easygoing. It's his fucking house. Don't do anything to disrupt it. He said, I thought about doing the exact same thing to his lawn, but spelling out the words coward. Oh, my God, that's fucking hilarious. I thought about pulling out all of his plants and dumping it on his car to send a message. It's been a few months and I still get pissed off when I think about it, but I decided not to stoop to his level and pull off a bitch move like that. The only option would be to confront him, but there is no scenario in which that would end well. Why not? Why not? Why can't you just, next time you see him, just say, like, dude, I got to tell you something. I haven't been on this planet for a long time, so maybe I need to see more bitchy behavior, but that's the biggest pussy bitch fucking, don't do that. It's going to, I don't know. I would just say, hey, do you have any idea why this part of the lawn died? Isn't that amazing? And I would do that to him every fucking time. Just do something to drive him nuts. Anyways, because I've decided to do nothing and moved on, but it's been about a year and I'm still thinking about it. What would you have done? Am I justified to be this pissed? And how the fuck do I stop myself from letting it get me in such a bad mood every time I walk past our front lawn and see the dead strip of lawn? Thanks for listening, Bill. Come back to New Zealand. Your lawn is still dead? Look, I'm not big on revenge, but the great thing that you have right now is you've waited a year. So if you were to do anything, obviously don't bring any physical harm to the person. He does seem to love that car. It's just, why would you do it? Why don't you guys just replant the fucking grass? That's what I would do. I would replant the grass. This is what you do. Replant the grass and get all excited. And then without him knowing, what you do is you set up a fucking video camera. All right? And you just videotape and you try to catch him doing it. That's the best way to do it, right? And then he has to fucking pay for it and then pay for the previous thing. The previous time he poisoned it. Like, that's what I would do. You know what I mean? There's obvious things that you could do. You could go to a fucking AutoZone and buy one of those little catch trays that captures oil, you know? And then in the night you could undo his fucking... let all the oil out of his car, unscrew the thing on the oil pan, and you screw it back up, and then he seizes the engine on his car. You can go that route. You know, there's no oil in the fucking car. The key is what you have to do is he would still figure it out. See, he can't do this. Is all bitchy fucking moves. You know what I mean? You got to have a face-to-face thing. Or what I would do is I would just replant the grass, and I would set up a fucking video camera. And maybe you just say that. Just say, hey, just so you know, if you plan on poisoning our grass, because I know you're not a man, and you would never say anything to my dad or myself's face, you know, just so you know, I got there's security. You're going to be on video, and we're going to catch you doing it, okay? All right, it costs us a lot of money, and oh my God, what in a perfect world, couldn't you just go over and just fucking, he just answers the door, and you go, huh? And you just boot him right in the nuts, huh? And then you just take a strip of the dead grass, and you just start fucking beating his back with it. That's what the fuck you want to do. You know what? I actually want to do that right now, but you know what? You can't do it. You know what? Fuck him. He did it to you. He did it to you. Oh, dude, you know something? I think what you came up with is the best. Why don't you just write coward? Nah, because then he's going to do something else to your dad's house. Oh, this guy's a cunt. You know what? He doesn't have the balls to confront your dad. So what I think you do, do the little coward thing and then set up video cameras and catch him doing something else. But then you've done something to him. See, it's just awful. It's just this bitchy tit for fucking tat thing. I don't know what you have to do, but I feel like something has to be said at least. I know what you do. This is what you do. You go down to a fucking ladies' shoe store. All right? And you buy a cheap pair of fucking women's shoes. And next time you wrap it up like a present and you just give it to him. And there's a card in there and everything. And then this is what you do. You do that. You just humiliate the guy. And you just open it up and just say, hey, sweetheart. Just want to, you just write from your heart about what a fucking bitch he is. And this is what you do. Don't curse in it at all. Write it really nice and lovely. But in that, without ever cursing, just let him know what an absolute fucking pussy he is for doing that. There you go. Oh, I think that, you know what? I think that's a winner. You know what? I might have to outsource this to my listeners if you guys have better ideas on what to do. There, nobody gets hurt. You made your point. It's fucking hilarious. And that's a funny, you tell people that this guy did it and they go, so what'd you do? You tell them I went to a lady's shoe store and I bought him a pair of pumps. And then you get to laugh. And every time you see him, just wave and just start calling him sweetheart. Give him a pet name. Maybe you give him a woman's name, like Diane or something. Just, hey, Diane, how'd you like the shoes? And just every fucking day, you can just do that forever. I don't know. It made me feel better about the situation. Maybe you can do that. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, good luck with that. But don't do any physical harm or real property damage. That's the brilliance. I almost said genius. Pat myself on the back there. Sorry about that. That's what I like about the last plan, is that you're not hurting him. You write it eloquently. You're not cursing. There's nothing he can really do. You just bought him a gift that you give a woman. It's perfect. I'd send him some candy on Valentine's Day. Just torture the guy. But you just keep giving him gifts. I don't know what else. Get him some flats. I don't know. Just a bunch of shit like that. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Maybe you just do it once and then that's it. And then what you do, and then right after that, you replant the grass. And then you just let him know that you know that he did it. And he's going to be too much of a bitch to try to do it again. And then you can tell your dad years later don't tell your dad that you did it. And then years later, you tell him that you did it when you're having a pint. You guys can fucking laugh your balls off. Wind it down. All right, heroin. I have no family, no friends. I work and support myself. I have no kids, no relationship. I actually enjoy freedom and being alone to an extent. I'm in my 20s. I had a lot of sex, relationships, and ended up getting herpes/HPV. I would basically rather just not tell people and not have relationships than to have to. At 35 years old, deal with having to explain/tell this to women. I really like heroin. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, buddy. What are we doing here? This doesn't sound real. I really like heroin. I go to work, come home, and use heroin on a daily basis. I still pay my bills. I still work, but I have traded the pleasure of sex/having a family/relationships for that of watching TV shows/movies while high on heroin, falling asleep, then going to work the next day. Should I change this? Is this real? I'll try. You know what? I'll treat it as real. Should I listen to society, stop using, go out there and find women and tell them about my situation and hope they do not reject me and get clean? Or if I am happy, is it okay for me to just accept the women part of my life is over, eat whatever I want, use whatever drug I want, and fill the time I have left on this planet watching shows, movies, playing games, and resigning myself to the fact that I will be alone? Love the podcast. Heroin gets a bad rap. It may sound crazy, but people can use opiates and still be responsible. I know many people who do. It's like alcohol. Both can be physically... This is really fascinating. Or maybe it's a big lie. I don't know. It's alcohol. It's like alcohol. Both can be physically addictive. Alcohol can actually kill you with withdrawals, while heroin cannot. And the deaths you hear about heroin are from idiots overdosing. What if you get a bad batch? Isn't that something? It's too fucking strong. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. All right. If we reported all the deaths from alcohol-involved incidents, they are easy. Well, they do report all of them, as far as I know. It's not like they're trying to hide them. They are easily 100 times more than heroin-related deaths. But in our society right now, opiates are not acceptable because too many white middle-class parents are finding their idiot kids using them without understanding tolerance / proper dosing. Anyways, love the podcast. I'm not leaving any contact info, so I have no way to know if you read this. Just thought it might be an interesting subject for your show. It is interesting. Yeah, dude, I don't pretend to know anything about opiates. All I do know is that I know alcohol can ruin your life, but I don't think it's nearly as addicting as heroin. I have heard that people can fucking, I don't know, but I think if what you're saying is true, I think you're a rare person that can handle that. I have no idea. Fuck, now I got to look some shit up. The last thing I wanted to do, and I got to get going here. I got my fucking show here in a half hour. The live reads are here. The live reads are here. I guess I'll read them here then. Let me just see something. Let me just look up. What do I look up? Productive while on heroin. Heroin and employment, independent drug Let's see, productivity and heroin addiction. What is this? How heroin addicts in Vietnam. What is this? Productivity and heroin addiction. How living in a cave turned me into a blogger. I failed my New Year's resolution. I wish I could do better. I just don't have enough willpower. Have you ever set a goal you didn't achieve? Ever tried a New Year's resolution that didn't stick? What separates the 0.5% from the 99.5%? What makes some people succeed in building new sustainable habits, but almost everyone else fails? How living in a cave turned... Where the fuck's the heroin shit? How heroin addicts in Vietnam and your productivity habits are the same. What? Everyone knows the horrible effects of heroin addiction. Once someone starts taking heroin, it's almost impossible to quit, and those who form a recurring habit will likely never quit. So why didn't heroin-using Vietnam vets relapse when they returned to the USA? A study from the Washington School of Medical Medicine, very few heroin-using Vietnam veteran relapses. Very few heroin-using veteran relapsed when they returned to the USA. And those who did were more likely to have been illicit drug users before ever arriving in Vietnam. These vets weren't addicted to the chemicals in heroin. They were addicted to the experience of heroin in a specific situational context. In the same vein, you think you are in control of what you do. You think that when you fail, it's a failure of your willpower. But the fact is, you don't even realize the influence of the environment has on you. Did you know that obesity spreads through a network of friends? Happiness also spreads throughout a social network. Your situation determines your choices as much as or more than your own personal choices and willpower. So how can I use this to improve my habit? Oh, Jesus Christ. No, join a volleyball league. I don't even know what the fuck that was. All right, let me look up. Let me just read these fucking things here. You know what? I might read up on that. I probably won't. I'll try to. I would never tell people to fucking, hey, it's just heroin. That seems a little crazy to me. And people are always coming at alcohol. That's like the fucking pot smokers always doing that shit. Well, alcohol, actually, man, there's no medicinal purposes to fucking... I get it. But, you guys are also, you're pie in the sky fucking thing with weed. Like it's... Like you can't get addicted to weed is another fucking thing. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, you just really like it. That's all, All right, laying off the booze. Hey, Billy Blunts. After hearing you talk about drying out, you really inspired me to do the same. I drink entirely too much right now. After about 8 days of daily commitment, I'm up to about a fifth a day with the odd beer mixed in. Wait, I thought you said... After about 8 years of daily commitment. Oh, I thought it was 8 days. I thought he was like drying out and then all of a sudden he's boozing. That confused me. All right. After about 8 years of daily commitment, I'm up to about a fifth a day with an odd beer mixed in. I know it's a lot, but I've worked up my tolerance so much that I don't really get drunk anymore. I just lose an hour here and there. No big deal, right? Yeah, dude, that's called blacking out. Anyways, I was able to quit smoking weed after 5 years of heavy daily use, no problem. I was even able to quit using Oxycontin, Jesus, after about 3 years of eating and sniffing pills all damn day. I've been able to maintain a normal life while going through these ups and downs. I'm married with a kid and a house and a great job. If you make more than $1 million, I probably manage your retirement account. But
despite being able to put the hard shit down, booze has been the hardest so far. Last week, I decided to jump off the wagon with you. It's been hard as hell, but I've been able to stick to it better than I ever had. I'm trying to limit beers to 2 a day and only drink liquor on the weekends. I've slipped once, but I'm doing my fucking best. I don't have a question, more of a request. Please keep us updated on your progress. It's helping me with my own journey because none of my friends really drink at all, much less the way I do. And my wife doesn't even know the extent of my issue, which is an issue on its own. Yeah, it is. Makes my struggle a bit easier to hear you having the same troubles as I have with sticking to my resolution. Thanks for giving me the kick in the ass I need to get my shit together. All right, dude, this is what you need to do. All right? After just saying don't text your wife that you're having a good time, you got to let you know. You got to let your wife know about this. This is a major thing. You're not sitting there eating a fucking turkey wrap, having a fucking bitter Mexican beer, whatever the fuck it was called. I would talk to her about it because then she can watch it. Dude, I can't fucking watch it. I can't do this for you. You need to have your wife involved in this and just say, listen, I've been drinking entirely too much and I need your help. All right? So, I got to be honest with you, dude. I try, like right now I have a beer a day, and that's only because my wife had some people over and they left a bunch of beer in the fridge and it's taken up all this space. And I don't want to dump it down the sink. You know, I'm not dumping out a bunch of beers. I just have one a day. And what sucks is they're Corona Light, which are fucking horrific. So I don't even enjoy them. But I just have like one a day. But last night, you know, it was Saturday night. I'm home. You know, I got the best fucking bar in town. I got high-end booze. And, you know, I had a couple of home pours, which, you know, as I've mentioned before, there's the bar pour and there's the home pour. Because you can lie to yourself that you're having 2 scotches a night. But, you know, when you go out to a bar and you see what their scotches are, you're like, oh, wait, did I say 2? I meant 9. Yeah, like last night, you know, I had a couple, 2, 3 of those after having the beer during the day. And I woke up today. I felt like I got hit by a truck. You know, it was awful. I walked my dog around the block and I shook it off. And I was just like, you know what it is? At nighttime, it's brutal. Being sober at night sucks, but being sober and waking up the next day, stone sober, is the greatest. It feels better than getting shit-faced. So, you know, and my wife, you know, she stays on me. She stays on me about it. It's weird. Like, I don't want, like, you sound like, you know, you've had some hardcore. Luckily, I don't have, like, an addictive personality. My thing is I have time. I have free fucking time. And I get into, like, and I'm a creature of habit. Like, this is how I work. Like, if I was to go out and buy a fucking pint of ice cream, right? And I was to wolf that fucking thing down one night, I would start doing that. That's what I would do. So, like, if I, you know, and all these fucking addicts who go to AA and all this shit, they always try to make sure, they try to make, like, everybody's a fucking addict. You know, I'm not, dude. I don't have, like, a fucking bottle in the back of my fucking toilet and shit, sitting there shaking, drinking fucking mouthwash and shit. You know what I mean? I just like drinking. I enjoy it, you know what I mean? But as I get older, like, just paying for it the next day is making it not fucking worth it, so I just don't do it. And whenever I decide to stop, I just stop, and it sucks for a few days, and then what it is it's not part of my daily routine, and then I literally just forget about it. You know, but I don't know. You seem like a little bit beyond that. So I would definitely reach out to your wife and see if she can help you. And maybe if she can help you, you stop there. And if you need more help, I would go do that. But don't depend on me because I don't have any kids and I live like a fucking 14-year-old. So I'm not a good person to use. I mean, having said that, I'm just doing a beer a day, if that helps you. All right. Dear Billy Stretchy Pants, on your podcast sometime back, You were talking about someone getting with someone else and one of the people gaining a bunch of weight. Oh, yeah, when you start dating somebody, how it's not fair to the other person for you to then put on a bunch of fucking weight. Unless you're a woman, you're having a baby. That's obviously, you know, I'm not a fucking animal here, but I'm just saying, you know, after you have the kid, you know, that's when, you know, after your wife has a kid, two things should happen. This is what you do. You get a little bassinet for the beautiful baby, and then the second thing you do is you get an elliptical for your wife. But so she doesn't get mad at you, what you do is you get her initials engraved on the side of it. In plastic, of course. Totally kidding. All right. I was already a few weeks into whipping myself back into shape. Okay, let me just start this over again because I even forgot what the fuck he's talking about. On your podcast, sometime back, you were talking about someone getting with someone else and one of the people gaining a bunch of weight. I was already a few weeks into whipping myself back into shape, but this really helped me solidify my will. Well, that's fucking great, man. That's great. I wish can you help me? Because you know what's sitting in a fucking writer's room is like, I eat there like the way I eat on the road. I mean, it's just fucking hard to try to eat healthy. It's just, you're just bored, you're freaking out, you're locked in the fucking room, and you're like, I'm going to eat some fucking candy for no reason. I'm sitting there every day like it's Halloween, and I'm fucking 7 years old. I got to stop. All right. It made me think that I should really give my lady the respect of maintaining something close to the body I had when she got on this train. She loves me. She has stayed with me in spite of the lumpy beanbag chair I have become. I am now 15 pounds down with a bunch more to go, but I am back on my routine. 4 or 5 trips to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. Dude, you're fucking killing it. That's great. And calorie counting as well. I know exactly what to do. It's just the time now. My question is this. How do you deal with it if your lady wants you to eat the same stuff she is or wants to go to a shitty fried food restaurant? Anyways, thanks, man. Hope season 2 of F is for Family is coming along well. It is. Thank you, sir. Can't wait to see it. And I loved your last show in Austin. Hurry back and come during the football season. We had a monster fucking recruiting class this year. Thanks, you bastard. Oh, that's great, man. You good. Longhorns should be good. It's a legendary college program there. All right. All right. How do you deal with it? I would just say, that's easy. It's easy. Just sit down with her and just say, hey, listen, you know, when you got with me, I was however years old and I weighed this much. And I don't think it's fair for me to have put on all this fucking weight, you know, and to be looking like a lumpy beanbag chair, like you said. So I'm really trying to get myself back into shape. So I was wondering if, you know, if you want to eat something that's a little unhealthy, is there any way we just can go to a place that has healthy options for me? All right? Because I don't want to look bad for you, and I also don't want to die early. So you're fucking, you know, in your 40s and 50s, having to put lipstick on and get the fuck back out there again and try to meet somebody who works down at Sears. You know, and I don't want to do that to you. I like to be here for the long haul. Dude, there's no fucking way she'll give you shit about that. That's a very easy thing to have happen, you know? And then also, I think, sorry, I'm looking at the timer. I also think that she would be happy to hear that you weren't just doing this for some vain reason yourself, that you were actually also doing it for her. I think that would be pretty cool. Now watch. She'll fucking get in some big fucking fight, you know? Are you saying I eat bad? Do you say I'm fat? You know, she blows her sales manager. All right, here we go. Advice for a daft Scotsman. Hey there, you redheaded cunt. I cannot fucking wait to go back to Scotland, Ireland, and all these fucking places. These miserable cunts are some of the funniest people you're ever going to meet. All right, he says, I'm 26-year-old guy from near Glasgow, Scotland. For quite a while, I was in a bit of a rut, but eventually I managed to pick myself out of it and decided to do something that I've always wanted to do. I took a big step and decided to buy a ticket to a festival in Chicago. Oh, that's the shit. I love Chicago. He said, I booked my flights and I'll be in the city for a week. That's tremendous. He said, basically, my question is, as I'll be traveling alone and will be staying alone, how easy is it to just hang around and strike up conversations with complete strangers in a different country? Have you ever found difficulties in finding common ground in conversation with people from different countries? Also, any faux pas I should avoid when talking to Americans so I can prevent getting my cunt kicked in? All the best, you fat-shaming prick. All right, it's a lot of questions there. Well, the only time I ever traveled is when I'm doing stand-up. And then after the show, there's always people that just saw you do a show, so I've already broken the ice. But first things first, why don't I tell you a couple places to go to from my little fucking places to go thing that I have in my fucking phone that my wife used to make fun of. She made fun of places to go, and she was laughing. And then, you know what? We went to one of those fucking places, and then all of a sudden, you know, she has total faith in it. Now she tells me, hit it. All right, here's what I would go. All right? If you like a great fucking bar for music and that type of thing, I'd go to the Liars Club. If you like cigars, there's a place, Big Cigar Emporium. Check that fucking place out. And then as far as food and all that shit, I would just tweet about it because I'm not a big fan of deep dish pizza. You know what I mean? I just don't understand it. I don't understand deep dish pizza the way I don't understand why coffee and tea have to be so fucking hot. You know what I mean? So it gets the fucking the tea bag all in the water, maybe? Is that what the fuck it is? I just don't understand. But you have to wait like an hour before you can drink it without scalding your fucking mouth. And when it comes to deep dish pizza, it's just too fucking much. You know, and you can't just get a slice of it. They bring the fucking thing over. It's like, hey, you want some lasagna? Yeah, but not a whole fucking tray. You know? But you should definitely try it. If you get one that actually has a really good crust, it is pretty amazing, but it's just like, I mean, you can literally split one piece with somebody else. It's so fucking big. And my wife said the funniest shit about it. She called it an abomination. She goes, it's the ultimate expression of American gluttony. She goes, go to Italy, you won't see anything over there like it. And it's true. When we went to Italy, you know, they have, like, we have all our American versions of their dishes, you know what I mean? But there's no deep dish pizza in Italy. At least not in any place we went to in Rome. That's the only place I've been to, but you don't see it. That's what she said. And she goes, you know why? Because it's an abomination. So anyways, as far as I found in that Liars Club, people were fucking cool as hell. If you're into the music and shit, it's a good time. But, dude, you're going to be coming over with your fucking accent. I wouldn't go to the fucking, depends on what you're into. I would go to a place where there's going to be a bunch of beautiful women. That's what I would do. And then you go over there and you just fucking just start talking. And I think you'll be in the fucking game. And they'll be, who'd you come over here with? Be like, oh, I came over by myself. I always wanted to come to Chicago. And just literally, hey, what do you fucking birds do? However the fuck you guys talk, right? What the fuck you fucking do over here for fun? You skirt-wearing cunt, right? Whatever the fuck you're going to say. And they're going to love it. They're going to love it. Even if you ask them, hey, for a fucking shag, however the fuck you say fucking in your country, it's going to seem so cool to them and so different. And then also they're going to be more adventurous because, the story's leaving with you when you go back, when you fly back to Scotland. How can you avoid getting your head kicked in? Don't do what everybody else from other countries do, is you come here and you criticize the United States and talk about how dumb we are, how fat we are, how awful the foreign policy is, how our football players are pussies because they wear pads. Why do you call it football? All of that dumb shit. You know what I mean? It's so fucking obnoxious. You know why it's obnoxious? Because those kinds of people always come here and they act like they're these worldly traveled people. And I come from here and I come from there and we can do this and we can do that. And it's just like, well, in all of that fucking travel, you never learn to be on your best behavior when you come to somebody's country and you don't come in and insult it. So you make your whole country look like a bunch of fucking snobby cunts. You never learned that one. I'm on my best fucking behavior when I go to a different country. I'm not saying I don't go out and get fucking hammered, but like I don't go there and shit on it. You know, some of these places I go to, I'm fucking talking to people. I know this place is nice. They're always like, "Why the fuck did you come here?" Remember, I was in Oslo, Norway. I said, I'm gonna. You guys, well, thanks a lot. You guys have been great. I'll definitely be back. And somebody yelled out, "Why?" It just struck. I was like, "What? What do you mean, why? Why the fuck wouldn't I? It's fucking beautiful." I don't know. Anyway, so I would avoid doing that. And then just everything else is common sense. You know, if somebody's, looking like a psycho, just fucking leave him alone. But I don't know, dude. I mean, I judge a lot of Scotland on that movie Trainspotting. Where I just feel like I don't go into any bars where there's an upper deck to it because I just feel like there's going to be that guy up there that's going to finish his fucking pint and just throw the glass over his head, cut open some woman's face. Like I just, if it's even remotely like that over there, I think you're going to be fine in Chicago. I would definitely try to go to a Cubs game. No offense to White Sox fans, but you guys all know that your fucking stadium stinks. You know it stinks. It's the only time I ever saw a new stadium built, and they admitted so quickly, like, wow, we really fucked this up. Let's try to, it was like a botched nose job. You know what I mean? Like, your stadium is the fucking stadium version of, when some Hollywood chick or somebody, they get too much work done on their face, and people, oh, my God, what happened? That's what you did with that stadium. They're like, well, let's wait till it settles. Let's see what happens. All right. So there you go. But, dude, you picked a great fucking city to go to. Chicago is the shit, and you picked a great time of the year to go there. I will tell you the traffic is fucking horrific, so just get ready for that. But once you're in it, it's fucking phenomenal. Anyway, so I went down to the store last night, comedy store, and I did a set once again. And I wasn't really even funny last night. I mean, I did a decent enough job. I've been doing it long enough where I can fake my way through my job, but I just kept having brain farts and all that because I was still fucking hungover, right? So, and when I'm hungover and I'm kind of in a grouchy mood, my shit goes from fucking silly to like, dude, is this like a meeting? This guy sounds like an insane person. And I got out of the club and I was walking in my car and this guy comes up. He goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Burr, Mr. Burr." Another reason why I shouldn't buy a fucking cool sport car. When somebody pushing 30 calls you Mr., it's time to get yourself a Buick Riviera, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't fight it. You can't fucking fight it. I am in my sport coat, luxury car, fucking years. I'm going to go online and buy an Olds Cutlass or something like that. Olds Cutlass is actually a cool car. What am I talking about? Whatever. The fucking a Delta 88 or some shit. So he comes up and he's with his girlfriend and he goes, "Yeah, I just want to say, I really enjoyed the show. I'm a big fan." I go, "Oh, yeah, thanks," or whatever. And then his girlfriend's just standing there. She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm not a big," she goes, "Yeah, I don't like you." Right? Because I was trashing the ladies, right? She goes, "I don't like you." And I go, "Yeah, okay." I just went, "All right." And then she goes, "No, I like you." And she goes, "I like you, but," and I'm like, here we go. It's just like, will you just get on with fucking trashing me? That fucking female manipulation thing. She said, "I don't like you," because she was expecting that I gave a fuck. To be like, "Oh, why don't you like me?" And then she could tell me what part of my act she didn't like. And guess what part it was? Only the shit about me trashing women. All the other stuff was perfectly fucking fine. I'm talking about drunk driving and going to McDonald's, right? She didn't have a fucking problem with that. All the hypothetically innocent people during that joke that I could have fucking got in trouble, could have run over, right? She didn't give a fuck about that. So she goes, "I don't like you." And I said, "Oh, cool." She goes, "No, I like you." And then like a fucking rookie, I stopped. She goes, "But you shouldn't be trashing women." I was just like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. That after the show heckling is my number one pet peeve. I stood on stage for 20 fucking minutes, right in your crosshairs. You know, yell out something then. You don't say shit. You just fucking sit there. And then after the show, you come up to me in the parking lot and you ignore the 30 topics I talked about. Those were all fine. And you just talk about the one that pertains to you. So I just said, I don't give a shit, right? So I get in my fucking car, and but at this point, she was yelling at me. And this is hilarious. She goes, oh my God. I forget. She was like, nah, and I wasn't listening. And she goes, and you drive a fucking Prius? She started yelling at me about my car. Oh, it was fucking hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. When she yelled fucking Prius, she had turned around, and because she realized I wasn't going to listen to her bitch moaning, complaining about my jokes, she had already turned away, and she goes, she threw her head back. She goes, a fucking Prius? And what she did there, she made me laugh harder than I probably made the whole crowd laugh my entire set in that moment. So thank you to that woman. And, other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Next time, heckle me on stage, and I'll listen to what you have to say. There was a fucking woman heckling me in the crowd. Oh, I'll tell you, I had a rough one, Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you and your cubicle. Do you like that it's in the corner and you get some sun? I like it. It makes me feel like I'm outside. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember when you had recess and you just ran and you just had the wind was in your hair? That's what it feels like, except I'm inside. And my dreams have died. What's going on, guys? My voice is fucked up, and it's Wednesday night. I just got out of the writer's room. Episode 8, motherfuckers, doing the table read. Fucking moths. Where the fuck do these fucking things come from? Jesus fucking Christ. These fucking moths. This fucking house. Do you know the fucking other day, my goddamn... I get a fucking decent gate for the driveway for once. You got to get the electrical one. You know what's great about the electrical one is eventually it fucking breaks and you can't get your car out of there and you got to call a taxi when you're paying insurance on 2 fucking cars. Oh, they're right there. You just can't get to them. Isn't technology wonderful? It makes your life so much more simple. You don't have to get out of a car anymore to open a gate. You don't burn those calories, and then those calories just sit right on your fucking heart, right? And then one day the gate doesn't open and you have a fucking aneurysm because you're so upset because it was supposed to make your life easier and it doesn't. I actually have a fucking theory. I don't have a theory. I have a fucking idea that just popped into my head. We should all die at like 30 of natural fucking causes. We should just go back to living off the fucking land. Once just the whole plague just hits everybody, we should just, go back to being fucking cave people and living like, just living like 30 fucking years. You can't go that far back. What would be a good place to go back to? You know what I mean? Well, anybody in this era would suck because then there'd be a bunch of shit. Be like, what? There's no iPads or polio vaccines, man? What the fuck? This sucks, right? I don't know. It's not a theory. It was just a fucking idea. I mean, this is how Trump gives a speech, isn't it? Is he going down? Is that what's happening to this fucking guy? Just took everybody until this fucking moment. Now, I for the life of me, I do not understand how this is my fucking Republican choice. I got this fucking dope or this fucking square-headed goddamn criminal. What does Hillary Clinton have? 52 felonies pending? I think I saw her on the first 48 the other night. Ugh. And how they're just going to just blow past all of this, and then you're going to have to listen to all this fucking horse shit about, how great it is for fucking women. Well, it's only fair. After all the dishonest guys that have gotten in office, why don't we get the most crooked fucking broad we can find? Don't pick the honest one. Oh, Jesus. I'm in a grumpy fucking mood. There's so much shit that I want to say, but I can't say it. I just can't fucking say it because it would be a waste to say it right here. But I am buying my time. Biting, or is it buying? Is it Joe Biden? How the fuck do you? I don't know how the express. That's one of those expressions. Every time I hear somebody say it in a bar, it's like, did they say buying or I'm biding my time? Or is it just another thing that one of my relatives mispronounced and then I just started saying it that way? Like one of my relatives could not say orange. He used to say orange. You want an orange? So, I fucking go to school. What color is that? I'm like, orange. Right? And people look at me like, what did you say? Orange. And they're going, it's orange. It's like, all right. I didn't know. People around where I live say orange. The fuck was I talking about? Biding my time? Is that a word? Is that something? Biding my time. Well, that's a Pink Floyd song. Biding time. Biding my time. Can you believe there's something on Wikipedia about that? Well, there's people like you in the world, Bill, so there needs to be. Biding my time was an unreleased recording. Is it an expression? What you guys are hearing right now is how I use the fucking the computer. I just ask it. I talk to it like it can hear me. Well, it can hear me because I'll say shit to my wife and all of a sudden, I'll be like, the fuck is your problem? Well, you treat me like a douchebag, right? And then all of a sudden I go to my computer and on the side there's all these advertising for douchebags. And I never looked it up. Binding my time instead of biding my time. The bide in the binding one's time is a verb that, according to the American Heritage Dictionary, means to await or wait for. Oh, God, people who are into language to that level. According to the American Heritage Dictionary, somebody fucking sat down and looked that up. It's Wikipedia. Why wouldn't you just make it up? This podcast, by the way, is brought to you by Coors Light. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. And you know what? When I'm pitching shit jokes all day long in a fucking writer's room, I like to come home, do a podcast, and drink one can of fucking Coors Light. You know why? Because it's fucking delicious. It's perfect. I don't want to get hammered. It sort of tastes like water, but I have a nice happy feeling afterwards. This is me not drinking, is every 2 days I have one beer. One, nobody in England would ever, or Europe in general, would consider this a fucking beer.